Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you're watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Joining me, as always, are my co-hosts from the Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks podcast, Rebellious __ D23, and Trav, the Trash Man Martin. How you fellas doing today?
Peachy.
Ready to rock.
Hey, and I'm ready to rock too. This is the season finale, the final episode for this season of Superman and Lois, the last Sons of Krypton. And before we get into today's review, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks.
Podcast in the description. Go check that out, please. Like, follow, subscribe to the channel, and thank you. Thanks.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. So before we dive into this review, man, I just want to say that I remember when we first started talking about Superman and Lois, and I remember I had told Trav, I was just like, hey, how do you feel about doing Superman and Lois? And Trav said, I don't know, this show looked like it's probably going to be garbage. And, you know, Trav, he had every right to say that because, you know, the CW. Exactly.
It's the CW.
Gotta be careful with that CW.
The CW didn't have a good track record.
The CW.
I still wanted to review the first episode, watch it just to check it out. And I wasn't expecting for the three of us to watch this show and fall in love with it and appreciate it the way that we do. And, you know, every episode that we've got like this, I don't know about you guys, but it's just like every episode was good.
There's no,
you know, how many times can you watch a TV show and it's just like every episode is good on the first season, you know? And Superman and Lois was one of those shows that it delivered every week when it was coming on every week. But, you know, then of course it would take those many breaks and then we would have to wait. But when it came right back, hey, it was good. It was just like the suspense was there. And this was a really amazing episode. Like I said, the last Sons of Krypton. After last week's episode, when JoJo, his body gets taken over after Morgan Edge puts his father inside of it. And, you know, we were just sitting here thinking like, well, what's going to happen? Like, who's going to be the one that's going to free JoJo? Like, is Superman going to be able to fight his son? And as we saw, he wasn't able to fight him. I mean, this is his son. You know, this isn't just one of the random people in Metropolis that body has gotten taken over. You know, it makes me think though, if it was one of Superman's best friends or something like that, would he be able to fight them? I'm pretty sure he would, but this is his son. But yeah, an amazing episode. D.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, you said yep. Go ahead. Like, what were your thoughts, man?
I really liked all that they had going on in this episode. I thought that it wrapped up things nicely for season one. John Henry, my boy, got some closure. He got a lot of closure. And it was just like the fights and stuff. I really like what was going on. They found a way to beat Morgan Edge. I mean, this guy, he is the Eradicator, basically. It was just sweet. And basically, at one point in the episode, he goes to this underground cavern, and it's like his stash of ex-kryptonite.
Yeah,
And I guess he was planning to overcharge it or overload it and, you know, change a worldwide kind of thing. I guess.
It was, if I could compare it to anything, it was going to be very similar to what Magneto was trying to do in the first X-Men movie.
Easy. Tread lightly.
But it's true though. Remember, it's like,
yeah, you're right.
Convert everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'll give you that.
No. In the first X-Men movie, he was going to turn everybody into mutants. And the second X-Men,
well, that's what he said. Convert everybody.
I said he's going to convert everybody.
Oh, yeah. I thought you said murder. I was like, Jesus.
Oh, no.
Yeah, well, I wanted to the second movie.
This guy went dark with it.
Yeah.
God dang.
The senator didn't make it. You know what I'm saying?
In the second movie, Magneto was just like, no more humans, and he was going to take them out. But
I thought it was I just really liked it. Trav, thoughts on the episode?
Yeah, I agree, man. It was a good wrap up, man. Again, if I'm gonna nitpick it, it's really because again, things just ended real quickly in season one. Like nothing dragged over. You know, it's very episodic. Like, yeah, they told a single story, but the situations were episodic that they ran into. So I'm looking for that to change in season 2. Maybe have some 2 or 3 episode story arcs of a situation that happens. And dude, we gotta get some better acting from Jordan, because this dude, bro.
He's getting carried, Trav. I've been saying it.
He's come a long way, man.
What?
No.
I mean, because remember when the show first started, like, you know, he's Midoriya. You know what I'm saying? And Superman is All Might.
No, I'm talking about him personally as an actor.
Oh, okay.
He's not good, is what I'm saying. So what's it called? Compared to everybody else on this show. So
yeah, he does stick out like a sore thumb.
He does.
I don't know. Now, what has he done before this, Trav? Have you looked into it? Has he done anything?
What has any of them done before this show?
Well, you know my boy Jonathan from the other show.
Yeah.
And Tyler, Superman. I know him.
Same with Lois.
Yeah, but I know them from other shows.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They have something. I don't know where John Henry came from, but that guy's great.
He worked
at Party
so
City.
Good. Take it easy, Banks.
He knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, I mean, like, overall, it was just sweet seeing everything. The fights in this episode were amazing. Like, just seeing, I mean, we've already mentioned this before, when Superman and John Henry team up.
Yes.
Like, it's just an amazing duo. And like I was telling D earlier, you really don't get this on a lot of the other CW shows. But again, like, using another anime reference, it was like Dragon Ball Z, where Superman, he had to hold Morgan Edge in place because John Henry was just like, you know, I got to be from a far away distance, and I got to throw the hammer. And it was just like when Goku, I mean, again, Dragon Ball Z reference, Goku being Superman, and then Morgan Edge being Raditz, and then John Henry being Piccolo, having to use the special beam cannon to take him out. It was a point in time where I was thinking, well, with Superman being there, like, is he going to get taken out too? But, you know, luckily Superman, he was good. Morgan Edge was still good. They just got the Eradicator out of him. And I thought it was interesting seeing, you know, Superman talking about the whole thing with the Gazette and, you know, letting them know that Morgan Edge, he was a Kryptonian, and, you know, Earth, y'all shouldn't fear me just because there was one person from my planet that was evil. And we see what Morgan Edge said. Like, Morgan Edge, he was just like, all I wanted was a family. And, you know, Superman was just like, you had one.
Well, and then
Dominic Toretto was there.
Oh, Lord. No, but basically Superman, what he said at the Gazette interview was that he can't make up people's minds for him. You know what I'm saying? Some people are just it's just the way it's got to be. And I like that approach. And to piggyback off of what Trav's saying, it is going to be interesting to see where they go with this in season 2, because this, we talked about it earlier today, Banks, and it's very unorthodox, the direction they chose to take with a Superman show. You know, it wasn't straight into Lex and Zod. So it is going to be neat. And I think, you know, a credit to Trav, I could see people like Metallo being used. I mean, there's plenty of them. You mentioned Parasite earlier today, Banks. Yeah. So it would be fun to do like mini stories like that. But I think it's going to focus on the boys more. Yeah, I do think it's going to go that way.
And I want to get to that part too of, you know, what we're going to see in season 2 in a little bit. But I want to talk about the greatest character change and 180 from episode 1 to the season finale is your boy Kyle Cushing. It's like we see him in episode 1. He trying to do whatever it takes for Smallville, and you know he had that cookout where he was trying to lure everybody over to working with Morgan Edge, and you know, and Kyle he fell from grace after we found out that Morgan Edge was trying to use everybody in Smallville as new hosts for the Kryptonians. Yep. And you know, Kyle, he had that redemption arc. He didn't let them run him out of town. He wanted to stay there and he wanted to help. And talk about a hero when that building explodes and you see Kyle, he holding the person in his hands, that music is playing. There goes my hero.
His daughter said, where dad going? And hey, she let him know he's doing his job.
Hey, Trav. Hey,
what
look.
you gonna go do?
Hey, when he was running into the burning building, it reminded me of that Drew Hill song, 5 Steps. When Cisco ran into the building.
When he does the hop up?
Yeah, bro. Now, another favorite part of this episode, I was sitting in the work truck watching it, and all of a sudden that music started playing. You saw the grill open up, and I was just like, Kyle better be cooking on the grill. And it was Kyle. You saw the ribs.
I gotta say this though, they've given us 2 white people cookouts, and they did not help us out at all. The MCW,
bro. Kyle, hold on. What do you mean they didn't help you out?
Yeah, Kyle be cooking it up.
Look, nah, bro.
Bro, what are you talking about? Kyle had the ribs, the hot dogs.
He had the brisket.
The brisket. You saw General Lane said the brisket got my name on it.
There's a plate of brisket with my name on it.
Yeah.
All right, try. So,
all right, so they ain't do white cookouts no favors in this show. That's all I'm saying.
So Trav, since we talk about it, so what is that a white cookout? What is that a white cookout, Trav?
It's better than this. Yeah, you've been to my cookouts, bro.
I've been to your cookouts, but I mean, all I'm gonna say is that Kyle, he got the meats on it. Like they say, Arby's, we got the meat.
That's all they got.
Hey,
they don't believe in sides.
They didn't because they just got the meat.
Ain't got time for that.
Yeah, they got all the meats.
Hey, all you need to know is the ribs was good because
them ribs look good, bro.
Look, she asked for the recipe.
Bro, and there no mac and cheese.
We gonna make that happen.
Kyle is definitely invited to the cookout. And like I was telling D earlier, I was like, how much money does Kyle and Lana make for Kyle to be feeding the entire town?
And he had to work. And he was out of work.
And they saved up.
Hey, start calling your boy Kyle Al Bundy, because Al Bundy, remember, he was only making $5 an hour, and he was able to afford a house.
That's right.
Keep the lights on. Won't nobody else working in that house.
And I never saw him sell a pair of shoes, neither.
I never did. Griff always sold a pair of shoes, but not Al.
Not Al. He's too busy insulting people.
Yeah, he was too busy insulting people. But yeah, again, like I said, really good episode. It's also going to be interesting to see like what happens with Leslie Lar, because she's still locked up. Now, to piggyback and get on the topic where Dee was talking about what's going to happen next, something that I had mentioned to him earlier was seeing, classic Superman villains. Now, I thought it was interesting them using Morgan Edge, like we've talked about on the reviews before, because he is somebody that people know, but they put a what if on it. You know what I'm saying? Right. By making him into a Kryptonian, making him Superman's brother. Now, I asked Dee earlier, I was just like, well, do you see Lex Luthor coming on next and being the villain? Because I feel like it made sense for everything to be revolved around Smallville this season, but I'm hoping that for season 2, it's like you can still have stuff, revolved around Smallville, but I don't want any, villains or anything coming to Smallville. I want Superman to either be doing stuff like he normally was doing in Metropolis or in different parts of the world. You know what I'm saying? Also, too, something else that I'm wondering is, are we going to see any superhero cameos? Because remember, the one girl that Jonathan was talking to, she mentioned that her dad, he got arrested in Central City, and like that's the reason why they moved there. So Dee, I know you had talked a little bit about what you're expecting to happen next, but Trav, what are you expecting to happen next? Like, what do you want to see on season 2 of Superman and Lois?
Yeah, I think we're going to see JoJo, pretty much learning, by his dad's side and learning how to use his abilities a little bit more, maybe become a sidekick in some way. And I like seeing Jonathan grow, since he doesn't have powers yet. And again, it's still out on that. We don't know if he'll ever get powers, but
he heals fast. That's what.
If he doesn't get powers, you're seeing him mold into a John Henry Irons type. I can still be useful by using my skill sets in other ways because I don't have superpowers. So yeah, man, I'm with you though. I don't want to see villains coming to Smallville. I want to see some stuff going down in Metropolis and seeing the world expand a little bit.
And also to piggyback off of what you just said, because I said this to Dee earlier as well, most of Superman, he was introduced on Supergirl, okay? and we don't know who he has faced, since he was on Supergirl, because Supergirl was only really focused on her. So we don't, I know some of his villains did appear up there, but it's going to just be interesting to see if they do bring somebody back from the past. And I feel if they do, like if you were to have Parasite show up, right? Like then you can go with the thing that you were saying, where it's just like you can have 2 or 3 episodes dedicated to this villain, because I wouldn't want to have Parasite as the main villain for the season, or have Lobo as the main villain of the season. He
doesn't have enough weight either.
Yeah, exactly. But somebody like Morgan Edge, and how they changed up the story, and it was his brother, and he was a Kryptonian, and like you bring Lex Luthor in, he's somebody that's a big player when it comes to Superman. But honestly, I really didn't read a lot of the Superman comics growing up, so I really don't know a lot of Superman's big villains besides Lex Luthor, General Zod, and Doomsday. Doomsday and Darkseid. Like those are the only big villains that I know. So if they do bring in somebody new, it would be interesting to see.
We don't need to see a Darkseid, bro.
Oh, for sure.
Y'all already know y'all know my feelings on the DC stuff and overusing.
Mm-hmm.
Thanos coming back too.
He could. but D, so like, what are some things that you want to see for season 2? What are you hoping happens next on the next season?
Call me crazy, but I actually think that the son that's going to get the shine, the real shine in the end of things, is going to be Jonathan, because it's all JoJo right now, and it only makes sense. He doesn't have the powers, but as Lois said, that he's strong. Mm-hmm. And he's the backbone of the siblings. So it only makes sense to me. And I also don't think that the early love story between JoJo and your girl is going to last super long. I think that's going to fizzle out, dude. And you know my thoughts on this. I just don't. It's something about it. It just seems very generic and kind of forced as far as a plot goes. I definitely think that Jonathan is going to get most of the shine next. Yes, I think Trav's right. JoJo will have to go under his father's wing and start learning and furthering his skills. But I think Jonathan's going to be the one to shine in the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll also say, too, one last thing before we wrap this thing up, is that this episode had a lot of tearjerker moments. Like the whole scenario where Lois was talking to Clark about how it's like, me and Jonathan will be able to get into JoJo's head. We'll be able to bring him back. And like the whole scene where Jonathan was about to be killed by Zeta Rho. Now, see, I told D, when Lois was having that talk with Clark, I thought that what was going to happen was Zeta was going to be about to kill Lois, and then that's when Jonathan's powers were going to unlock, but they didn't go that route. So I can see him finally getting his powers in season 2. But yeah, that scene, and then the final scene
Iron Man scene. I thought.
You could talk about that, but the final thing I was going to bring up
Go ahead.
was when Natalie was coming to Earth, and like when I saw the ship coming, I was just like, "Yo, is that his daughter?" And then when she opened up the ship, and she was just like, "Mom," she saw Lois there. Now, the first thing I thought she was going to say is just like, why are y'all with Superman? You know what I'm saying? But it was it was definitely a surprise. Like this season, it ended on a high note, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen next. But D, go ahead and say what you were going to say.
I just had to touch on that the hammer throwing scene where John Henry's using like the last of his battery to get into position. It was super sweet, super sweet moment, very Iron Man-ish. I liked it a lot. And I thought, I knew, they probably weren't going to let him die right there. I know he was falling from the sky, and I know Banks was thinking the same thing. Maybe there was a bubble in his suit. But go ahead.
God, I can't believe I snorted. But no, this isn't Black Lightning. But, something else, too, that's interesting is like at the end of the episode, John Henry was just like, he had to leave because Lois was his wife in his Earth, and he just couldn't be on the farm with him and whatnot. And we also see that Sam Lane, he's stepping down from being, the head of the Department of Defense because he wants to spend more time with his family. So it's going to be interesting to see like how it's going to be with Sam being around all the time now, because I feel like it's going to have its pros and its cons. But I will say that like he's had some really good growth this season as well, seeing how he's different from the normal General Sam Lane that we always get. But we see that John Henry, he's going to be working for the Department of Defense now. So I can possibly see him being in the position that Sam once was. And now with Natalie being there, I originally thought, going into season 2 that, we may see John Henry here and there, but his whole overall story arc is over. But now that Natalie showed up and the episode that ends on that cliffhanger with her seeing Lois, I'm assuming that they're going to be in Smallville a lot longer. But I do hope that they explore more with him seeing his sister on this earth and, building that relationship with her and whatnot. And she lives in Metropolis. We've already all stated that we want to see some more stuff in Metropolis. So, that's the possibility that we're going to see. So, D, final rating for the season finale.
Give me an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. Beginning to end, obviously. I thought it was a well-balanced episode. We got that action we were waiting on. Can't wait to see season 2. Trav?
Okay. Before Trav, before you say your rating, D, what is your overall rating for the entire season?
Give me a 9 out of 10. Definitely recommend this to any comic book goers, any DC fans. If you were questionable or on the fence, do check it out. It's well worth it. Really like the story. It's good for an original take, I mean, flawless. Trav?
Yeah. Again, we're trying to take a superhero show and make it a drama, like a teen drama. It's still at the end of the day the CW, bro.
Yeah.
And they got their demographic, and they've done a really good job at keeping it interesting for us comic book readers, and also for other people that don't indulge in that kind of stuff. They can get into the show too. And I thought the season finale was really good. I give it a 9 out of 10. And the whole first season, I think the show so far, 8 out of 10 so far. There's some stuff I can nitpick at, and again, there's some acting that I want to see improved into the next season. But outside of that, man, for a CW superhero show, I mean, it ain't no Titans, but it's a damn good show.
Now, Trav, I want to ask you a question before we get to Banks' rating and wrap up. Do you think if Swamp Thing went off the way they wanted it to, that would have been the good 3? Like I told Banks that Stargirl is really good. Then you have this show, which is really good. And Swamp Thing's quality looked good, but then they ran into all those problems. Do you think Swamp Thing could have been their big third one?
Well, I think it going to the CW would have ruined it.
You
already,
think so?
Because Swamp Thing was already an adult show with the swearing and the sex, and that wasn't going to fly on
just like Titans. Because I had mentioned that to D
it wouldn't
earlier.
Even be, it just wouldn't even be the same show.
Yeah, because Swamp Thing kind of punishes people.
Yeah, right, yeah. And again, it gets brutal. Ripping
and
stuff. You just wouldn't see that. So I think it's a good thing that Swamp Thing got the can. If HBO Max won't going to pick it up, I'm glad the CW didn't, because it
wouldn't have done it justice.
Yeah. It's a good thing that Titans went to HBO Max instead of coming to the CW, because Titans, it's a very dark show, and it's good just the way it is. Like, I don't need it, being toned down and all that stuff.
I needed humor. And,
them telling the swing Robin swing. Like, I don't need no Team Titans and all that stuff. But
swing Robin swing.
To piggyback off what you were saying, D. I mean, you still have that Naomi show that's supposed to be coming out.
Oh yeah, there was another one.
Ava
DuVernay still out on that.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll see. I mean, so far with the new shows that we have on the CW, you have Superman and Lois, and then Stargirl. The first season, it was a DCU app exclusive, but season 2 has been really good so far. Make sure that you check out our reviews for Stargirl. I'm happy that we're doing those as well. And also, too, I just want to say that this is going to be the last time that you see us doing Superman and Lois reviews until season 2 comes out. And my final rating for the episode, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. And then for the overall season, I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. I thought that this show was perfect from beginning to end. I thought, like I said at the start of this, every episode was good. This is one of those shows where it's like my jaw has dropped so many times. There's been times where I cried. There's been tearjerker moments. There's been times of excitement, and you really do not get those in a lot of these CW shows. The only exception is Stargirl, because that was created on, it was an exclusive on an app. But this show has just been so amazing, and I recommend it to everybody. Like even if you like Superman, but you were never really into him like that, I would recommend this, because there's like me, for example, it's just like I've never really been like a Superman fan. You know what I'm saying? So for me to watch this show and to, feel this way about it, and, highly regarded as one of the, greatest shows in recent history to come out. And like Trav said, up there with Titans and all that stuff, it's just like DC, they do have good stuff out there. And I just hope that, the story, it continues to be good. I hope that they continue doing the right things with season 2. And I really, 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 fingers crossed, pinkies up, that this show does not go down the same route as The Flash, because The Flash was one of those shows where
jinx it.
I felt the exact same way when I first started watching The Flash. It was so good. And then season 2 came, and season 2 was okay, but then it's just like it just kept going down.
Flash came in sweet with the zoom and stuff like that.
It was good, but it won't this.
For sure. Trav, for the time when it came out, like it was this good, and it just got worse over time.
It didn't have any real competition. It was Flash and Arrow.
Because Arrow's
and
trash.
I was take it easy, Trav. But it was I just look at the Flash show and Arrow as two different things, because Arrow was predominantly something that just used practical effects, and Flash used a lot of special. So it wasn't really, it's apples and oranges, really.
Yeah, in those earlier episodes, like this, they didn't really use a lot of CGI the way that they use it now. And then when you look at the CGI now on the Flash, it's horrible. Lightsabers. Yeah, lightsabers. But let us know in the comments what you thought about the season finale of Superman and Lois. Let us know how you felt about the series overall as a whole. And give us your rating. Tell us what you thought about it. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Are you excited about season 2? D, let them know where they can find you at in social media land.
With pleasure. That's going to be rebellious _D23 at Instagram.com. Like, follow, subscribe to the channel. Trav, take it away, man.
Hey, that's right. You can find me on the Instagram at ZK Audio. You can find me on the Twitter at TRAVIOSZK. And of course, man, where they going to find the what was I saying? Where they gonna find podcast #1 hero at?
You can find me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, at King Benji _Banks on Twitter and Instagram. And then you can find me on Facebook at Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Make sure that you check out some more of our interviews, reviews, and reaction videos that we have here on the channel. Podcast episodes brand new every Tuesday, with the video being up on YouTube that Friday. Like I always say, keep that pinky up, stay positive. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Peace. Thank you for watching a brand new episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure that you hit that like button and you subscribe to our channel. Hit the bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content on our channel. Make sure you check out our podcast, where we release new episodes every Tuesday, and the video of that episode is uploaded on Friday. And you can find new episodes of our podcast on all podcast platforms. Make sure you follow all the Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks social media accounts at Leveling Up Banks on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Also, we have a Patreon. If you're feeling generous and would love to donate to us, it's at Leveling Up Banks. And huge shout out to our patrons. We really appreciate you and thank you for the support. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks.